taking the matter into your own hands without considering what I wanted. That was a video I made a few weeks ago about giving marginalized people their agency when they are advocating for themselves, especially if you know that marginalized person personally. And my friend Patty watched that video. And we were at an event the other day. It was me and Patty and a few of Patty's friends who are just my acquaintances at this point. And one of her friends uses a mobility device. One of the people that was organizing the after party event at a local, I don't know, I didn't go. I don't know if it was a pub or a bar or what it was, came over and he was talking about, he was being very loud and aggressive and bubbly, I guess, and was saying like we all have to. I think he was drinking. I think he had. I'm not going to judge, but I think he had a few drinks in him, and he was saying like everyone should come to this after party. But then he pointed to Patty's friend's mobility device and said, "But this thing's not going to fit into a space. This thing can't come." And so many times when things like this happen, I really am in such shock. My brain goes into such shock. It goes, did I just hear what I think I heard? And I looked at, Patty's friend's face, and I could tell that he was, what was said, because you could tell, like, he wasn't making it obvious, but, like, he was just like, you could tell that's what was said. And I looked around, and I had actually mentioned it to some of the other people standing with me, and that he had said what he had said. Now, first of all, I want to say something, and I don't know if this is the rule or this is, I haven't done any research on this, but when I am talking or interacting with someone with a mobility device, whether it's a wheelchair, a cane, a scooter, whatever that is, I look at that mobility device as an extension of their body, which means I don't touch it, I don't lean on it, I don't disrespect it. It is a part. It's how they have to move. It's how what they have to use to get around. That is an extension of their body to me. So I respect it just as I would respect any other part of their body, including the way I would talk about that device. So I would never say this thing can't come to the event. Number two, in Ontario, you have to make sure that everyone has access to your space. If you own a business, if you are part of some sort of public space, you have to make sure that everyone can participate. And that means maybe, maybe your building is really old and you can't get the front door to change, to get somebody in. That means there has to be another way for that person to come in to your space. There has to be another way for them to experience, to access the space. So, like, that's just the end of the story. There's no, like, this thing can't come in. No, you have to allow for that person to come in, no matter how they are showing up. But what I wanted to talk about is how Patty turned to me after watching the video I had made and hearing that story. And she said, should I talk to him first? Because she was ready. She was like, I'm going to make a complaint to the people in charge. Like Patty is like full force. Like I'm not putting up with this stuff. And she said, should I talk to him first before I do that? And I said, because she knows him, they're longtime friends. It's such I think it's such a kindness to give that person their agency and talk to them first. If you didn't know anybody there and you heard that, go and tell somebody like, excuse me, this is what's going on. But because you know that person, going to talk to them first before you escalate the situation, I just think that's just so respectful. So she went and she talked to him and told him, he already knew, he heard it, told him what she had heard and how she wanted to deal with the situation and asked his permission. Could she go and do that? And he said yes, that he would really like if she would do that. So I really love that she watched the video and she learned something, and that she took that step to give her friend his dignity and agency, and really being able to be in control of the situation as much as you possibly can. As a marginalized person, I just think is so important. I hope everybody learned something from this video. Okay, bye.